Get from in front of my door. Nah, one love, bro. I'm just playing, y'all. One thing I do, I like to joke around. That's my buddy Tim right there. Like, we all good. But what's going on, you guys? It's your boy Brass, aka Raps Truth Seeker, and you are now rocking with facts and conspiracies. Now let's holler at each other real quick. Let me put this on before the conspiracy is Brass got picked up. All right, so guys, let me holler at y'all real quick. So what's been going on with me these last few days has been I had to sit back and recalibrate and prepare for what's getting ready to go down with TikTok. As we all know, TikTok is set to be banned very, very soon. And because of that, I want to urge you guys to follow me right here, Raps Truth Seeker. This is my actual page on IG for this material specifically. Follow me on IG and let's just keep this thing going. I'm gonna have to get better at this. I'm gonna just get better at this. That's the new challenge for me. But in the meantime, I appreciate all of you that have followed me. I appreciate you guys helping me actually reach the milestone that I was hoping to reach. You know, originally this started with a whole nother page and I couldn't even get past 800 followers. With this one, I got way more than that, and I appreciate every single last one of you guys. It's all love. So now, let's get into today's topic. Please, TikTok, don't take me down for talking about this. Oh my gosh, please stop hitting my videos with all these violations and strikes and stuff. Come on. We're talking about corn. Corn, not like maize, but corn. You know, replace your C with a P. Now, corn is a big struggle for many people in the United States. It's actually a big problem around the world. It used to be something that you didn't necessarily talk about as much. Now you hear people have no problem speaking about it as if it's not an addiction. But people, I am here to tell you, it is very much an addiction that affects all of your relationships, not just your intimate relationships, but all of your relationships. It affects your mentality as a human being, as well as your mental status. You might not say it does, but let me ask you this. Is it easy for you to put down now that you have started, if you have started? There is a reason why you have so many young women and men who graduate high school and go straight into a variation of the corn industry. You have over 1.5 million people on OnlyFans alone doing corn activities for money. You have many more people addicted to watching their either favorite amateurs or their favorite corn stars. And guys, have you ever asked yourself, because I've said this on this page before, whatever you put your energy into, you become that. What do you become when you put your energy into something that takes that much out of you? And you guys know what I'm talking about. Well, there was this guy who recently released a video, and it's picked up a lot of steam on many Christian podcasts that I watch, and it's picked up steam in other areas too. And I want to play one of the podcasts that I was watching that was playing the video, so we can talk a little bit about this, or at least see another perception of this thing. Because if you don't understand by now that you live in a world that's not quite, right, then maybe this might help you. If you are not familiar with certain terms, I would ask you just to first of all listen and try to register this new information if this is new to you, and ask yourself this question. If you believe in the spiritual warfare, which many of you do, if you're following me, many of you do, but if you believe in the spiritual warfare, can I ask, why would it limit itself to even this playing field? There's so many people viewing it, and there's so many people using it. I want you guys to have a different kind of look at this. But this is where I stop. Love, peace, 9. And if you are struggling with your corn addiction, first, I'm going to say pray. I'm going to say battle that spirit, battle that mindset, renew yourself. It will be so much better for you when you can say you have finally accomplished defeating that urge. And no, it's not easy. If it was easy, everyone would just jump into just doing it, or everyone could just break free of the struggle and it'd be done. But I will say this, Jesus Christ, he can deliver you. He can deliver you. He can deliver you. Now, like I said, I'm out. That's it. 9.
I put his page up on the screen. because I don't want to mispronounce the name of his page. So, you know, I'm going to show y'all, and I'll leave a link to his video in the description, right? So this video is mostly going to be about PORN, pornography, right? And spirits in film, spirits in the things that you watch, especially it having to do with pornography. Now, y'all remember at the end of one of my videos recently, a couple videos back, I was talking about how, you know, which we talk about a lot on this channel, how a lot of these people in positions of power, a lot of people call them reptilians, shapeshifters, you know, all kind of names. You know, I'll just simply say a lot of these people aren't human. Y'all heard me talk about this, right? They look like us, they bleed like us, but they don't have a soul like me and you do. I was sent this guy's video, right? And when I sat and listened to him talk about it, he explained it in a way that was very similar to what we talk about on this channel, but I really like the way that he presented his video. And it's one of those videos that, like, if you have a problem watching PORN, if you have a problem watching pornography, this will really enlighten you, and this should really shed away some of those spirits, some of those demonic spirits that are keeping you watching that stuff, right? So for me, this is one of those topics that I feel is a must we talk about. It almost reaches a point of addiction. A lot of people are addicted to watching pornography. A lot of people don't understand what it actually does to their minds, what it actually does to their life, the spirits that you are welcoming into your life, the way that it changes how you think about women, the way that it changes how women think about men. You know, it can have an effect on your everyday well-being a lot more than you can imagine. So look, without me saying too much more, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all listen to the clip where he really goes into very good detail about this topic, and then we're gonna come back and talk about it a little bit more.
You can now take a selfie with the hollow as well. There's also a lift in Blazewood which has a bank booth called...
Check this out.
Is I became a better son to my father, and we had a better relationship, and we could spend more time talking. I don't think it's a coincidence that at the time I'm free from the addiction, that's the time when the relationship is restored. Because pornography has a way of also stealing your ability to love others, other people but yourself. Because that incubus and succubus spirit looks to satisfy itself. And so no matter who you marry, how pretty she is, there's always a prettier person. You can't decide the right video to watch. And that's why even till now, you can never get a confirmation on which wife you want. It's not that they're both great people, or that they're both bad people and you're trying to see which one's better out of the two, out of the 4 out of the 5. It's because there's an indecisiveness from the video you'd select, which is also giving you an indecisiveness when it comes to preference in marriage. I'm being very honest here. I'm not in the 4 walls of a church. I have to be as clear as possible because there's a generation that will be taken away by addiction. When you're watching pornography, understand that your pleasure is someone else's misery. That woman you're watching, that brother you're watching, was thrown out of their father's house. They were rejected. Some of those porn stars that you see, they're actually not having an orgasm, they're fainting. They're being raped. It's been reported numerous times on camera, it happens to them. And that's what you're coming to do with what are supposed to be clean hands. You play the keyboard, and then you go on to watch someone being raped and suffocated, and there's pleasure. I'm not trying to place disgust or condemnation upon you when I'm saying this. I'm trying to make you see how horrible it is so that you can abstain from this. This is not a message on condemnation. It's going to increase your reverence for the things of God so you understand that even though you can pray for forgiveness and our Father is so amazing, so loving, He forgives you, value the relationship more. Otherwise, just like Jerusalem became a whore at some point and committed whoredom, there's a parable actually of the two twins, and they'll reference it below, of Aholah and Aholiba. And these were the two cities that betrayed the Lord, and how these twins were so caught up in their own affairs. They were two sisters, a younger sister and an older sister. And the Bible even tells about how, because they went away with their lovers and then they came back, the Lord says, just like you were alienated from me, I am now alienated from you. Even though, yes, you'll make it to heaven because God loves you and you're saved, there are so many benefits and a substantial part of calling that will not be fulfilled because you haven't found yourself in the place of purity, holiness, and hear this, uprightness. Now listen, you start to watch these episodes or these videos on pornography. It's been reported that what happens is some of those people that you're watching and you're fantasizing over, the directors in those programs, in those porn clips, before they make the videos, they'll meet even before the actress is aware that they're filming that day. Before they come on set, they meet early in the morning. And then they start to do ritual practices and incantations because they're praying to deities and evil spirits that the videos will reach far and wide and that they may gain more fame, money, and power. So they carry out rituals. Then when they carry out those rituals on those programs, on those tapes, before the tapes are released, even after they've edited the tape and published it for the world to see and for them to take a generation captive, they then go on to make further incantations and chants. That's how they consummate the video that they've put together. That's how they consummate the video. There are some porn stars who have been open in saying that they're witches. They practice it openly. Openly. They've declared it, that they do witchcraft and they practice it. And one of the biggest deceptions that some of our believers who are naive, they will never acknowledge, and they don't believe this, is that some of those porn stars that you're watching, I tell you this is a spiritual person, they're not porn stars. They're not humans. They're Marines. No, they weren't generated by AI. They weren't generated by AI. They're a being, but a celestial one. Footballers you meet in the streets, rappers you meet in the streets, artists you meet in the streets, that woman will never be seen anywhere by anyone except from that screen and the directors that were present. For what purpose would a Marine be the actor on porn? They're all humans. How many of you verified to be human? And then what happens is you watch that video. Then after you watch that video and you ejaculate, the incubus spirit, it requires semen. So that semen was a sacrificial lamb you gave to that marine goddess that was on the screen. And then suddenly, 3 years down the line, you have to go to the hospital, they tell you that your soldiers are low. Or to that sister who was so engulfed by her sexual fantasy, she continually masturbated on those websites 4 years down the line, she's barren. Why am I barren? Because you already gave us your womb. That wasn't just a man that you were watching. He was a warlock. He belongs to another kingdom. He's not just an artist who's being paid. And you start to wonder some of those sexual expressions they have, how they've and they use expressions like wet, 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 wet. And you just assume that wet, wet, wet is because of what's happening to them there. No. They know more than you know because they know where they live.
Now, look, y'all. Very powerful. Very powerful. The ending, very powerful, y'all. You know, if you've never heard it put that way, a lot of us know what porn does to our mind. A lot of us, we understand it. But I don't think a lot of us understand it spiritually, right? Now, first thing you think about ending off that clip is that, you know, he was saying a woman wonders sometimes, why can't I produce? Why can't I have children? In certain cases of a lot of these women who masturbate constantly, who watch a lot of pornography, who are giving in to these incubus and succubus spirits, or that incubus spirit, that male demon spirit, don't understand that you've already spiritually given up your womb. I thought it was nothing short of amazing when he said that, because it made so much sense. Even for a man, he said, you wonder why you go to the doctor and your soldiers are low. You know, you can't have a child. You can't pregnate a woman. And you were that man who constantly masturbated, who constantly gave up your semen to that succubus spirit, who then gives the semen to the incubus spirit. And they use it to impregnate other women. Or you constantly sleep with different women, different spirits. And you wonder why you can't have kids. Or guess what, men? You wonder why you eventually end up having testicle problems. You wonder why you got a sharp pain in your testicles. You wonder why that vein that produces the semen is inflamed, it's swollen, it hurts, it's not going away. Because you've given yourself to those spirits. And sometimes, a lot of the times, that comes with consequences, right? Just like anything else. When you knew you were supposed to stop something, you knew you were supposed to let it go, and you didn't. So eventually, you know, you're going to pay with something. Sometimes you're going to pay with pain, physical pain, spiritual pain, you know, mental pain. Not to mention that, you know, watching it so much, they already have like proven studies that, which we finna read this article. I got a really good article that it backs up everything he just talked about. Even the porn stars being involved in witchcraft, the producers doing spells and, you know, casting spells over the videos before they put them out, just like they would do albums, just like they do music. Anything that you can log into your phone and access as easy as you can porn, it all has rituals and spells done on it. So it can continue, you know, to reach millions of people. It's like the devil's